Hi guys, Zasmo here, and today I'm gonna talk a little bit about the Atlas strategy for this league. I have finished all of my watchstones in a little bit over like 2.5 days played on the character. So in that time I managed to get all of my watchstones, which is 32 of them, I think, right? 8 times 4. And now I'm basically going to figure out which T16s I would like to favorite, and then after that what I want to do is basically get enough of the completion, and especially in that region, of the bonus objective and awakening objectives in order to get unlocked all of these slots for favoriting the maps. So few things to take into consideration when you're figuring out which T16s you want to run, right? First of all, you don't necessarily always need to get all watchstones. It really depends on whether you need the awakener level, because you might just be happy with like rushing to T16 in one of the regions, which means you just need 4 watchstones, and then farming that region over and over if you just want to do that. However, with higher awakener level, you're going to have more drops for maps. You're going to have more like Shaper and Elder drops, which are going to basically give you extra currency influx while you're playing. They're gonna give you fragments if you're gonna play them, and the ability to do the bosses. But basically, if you figure out that you only want to play like 1 or 2 maps that are in one region, you could do that potentially. I prefer doing the Awakener 8 level because of the extra drops, and that's a huge amount of currency if you're playing, because that allows you to get the Shaper and Elder fragments, and it's like 15 to 20 C, I guess, per map like that. And then on top of that, you can also do, of course, the Conquerors and Awakeners on high Awakener level, giving you access to very, very high drops, right? Like, for example, the Awakened support gems, like the Awakener Orb, very high level bases from the boss encounters. So that is something that can bring you a lot of currency. So I think it is definitely worth just getting to Awakener level 8. Another factor for like which T16s, for example, you're gonna run, because you can sustain T16s and you can run them. The thing is, you gotta pick which ones you wanna play. One of the important factors is, for example, divination cards, right? And other drops, like things that drop from them are like the most important thing. And then also the layout, whether you are enjoying the layout, whether you don't like the layout. Like, for example, one of the good maps to run in this league is the cemetery map. It is only T14 though. I have it favorite here, I think, because I have that slot unlocked. So cemetery is a T14. I recommend it as a T14 because as a T14 the boss is not too difficult. I think it was either cemetery or graveyard had like the 3 dudes, like 3 skeletons in that little arena bosses. The other one had like the Gruthkul boss. I don't remember which one this is. But the point is that on Cemetery there is a divination card that drops called Brother's Stash, and it's a 1 out of 1, and it gives you 5 exalted orbs, right? So that's a 5 exalted drop that happens on the Cemetery map, right? So that's one thing to consider when you want to favorite your T14s. When you want to favorite your T16s, usually that's a map that you're going to run a lot, and what you can do is type just tier 16, and that will highlight all of the tier 16 maps. And what I usually prefer doing is finding out like maybe 3 regions or 2 regions where I enjoy, where there is like a T16 map that I enjoy, that has a decent layout, decent mob density, that I will be able to run over and over. So for let's look for that one for each region, for example, right? If you wanted to do a specific region. So in this region, definitely I like the Summit map and Waste Pool. Those are definitely good. Waste Pool has a very dense layout that is indoors, and Summit has a very nice dense layout that is outdoors. I definitely like that map a lot, and it's good for a lot of builds that have like big AoE coverage. And this one is better for builds that like ED Contagion or anything with Herald of Ash, chaining explosions and things like that, like Toxic Sewer, Waste Pool. Those are good maps for that. Next region we have Laboratory, Canyon, Sulfur Vents, and Geode. I think Canyon is the one that I prefer out of that. It has like most straightforward layout, but it really depends on what you personally enjoy, right? But I would probably, out of that region, that's what I would run if I had to run that region. Here we've got Ramparts, which is a fairly good map. It's pretty quick and very straightforward. Lair, Cursed Crypt, and then we have Val Temple as well. So I definitely like the Ramparts here. Here we got Maze and Necropolis. That's nothing interesting. Jungle Valley, Terrace, Tropical Island. Tropical Island is very good. Tropical Island, especially if you want to do Delirium, T16 Delirious maps. If you have a really good build that can handle that, Tropical Island is great for like normal Delirium, right? If you encounter like the Delirium mirror, I guess, because if you do the orbs, then there is no timer. It doesn't matter how far you go, really. But if you just farm this map and you're getting the Delirium mirrors because you're reducing it in any other way, then this is a really good map to run. Then we have Basilica, which is pretty nice. I like Basilica. I'm not sure if Basilica is the one with the phased boss or not. There are two maps that have like the Innocence boss, but one is like has phases and one doesn't. Of course, you don't want to play the one that has a boss that has phases because that's just a big waste of time. Leyline, Arachnid Tomb, Crystal Ore. Here we have Grotto. Here, Grotto is... it has a bit of backtracking, so I don't like it that much. Here we have Atoll. Atoll is one of my favorite maps, however, it has a very shit mob density. So this is if you have like very, very quick build, but even then you probably would find something better. You're probably better off running like Summit and things like that. Primordial Pool is decently good, Peninsula. So out of all of these maps, I actually think like Tropical Island is one of the better ones. So I might be favoriting Tropical Island, and I might be favoriting like Waste Pool or Summit, you know, the one or some of those. And for tier 15, there is way more choices, I think. City Square is very nice one to run. Then we have Burial Chambers. That's another one that a lot of people are going to favorite out of this region. So you can like, in this region, because you want to favorite like 3 of the same to increase the chances of getting it, right? So you want to have one region that has like T14, one region that has T15, and one region that has T16. And that's how you're gonna get most of the maps that are the maps that you prefer, right? So if you're doing Burial Chambers, you cannot do the Cemetery here, right? So you have to find some other T14. What else do we have? Lava Lake, Core, Malformation, Alleyways, Toxic Sewer. That's a very good one. However, if you get Toxic Sewer here, you cannot get the Waste Pool or the Summit, right? Favorited 3 times because it's like per region. So I probably wouldn't go for that unless I went like T16 Tropical Island and then T15 Toxic Sewer. That would be actually really nice. That would give me like 2 really, really good maps to run. And then T14 I could have that Cemetery, for example, right? That could be something that I run. Unless there's like a great T14, some other map that I could run. There are so many. Underground Sea, that's a really nice map to run as well. Very good density. Defiled Cathedral, Primordial Blocks. There are so many T14s. Park is pretty decent. Phantasmagoria, I definitely like that map. It's very linear. Linear maps are some of my favorite. Beach, that's a pretty good one. Iceberg, that's a decent one as well. What else do we have? So many maps. Yeah, I would probably just try. I'm probably going to try. Oh, Relic Chambers, not Burial Chambers. Desert Spring, that's a good one as well. If you want like just map returns, Desert Spring is like one of the best maps for map returns. So if you want like great map returns, I would recommend like Tropical Island, then I would recommend the Toxic Sewer, and then I would recommend the Desert Spring, something like that, right? I'm probably gonna run the Cemetery though instead. So that's what I'm probably gonna keep favorite. Here Cemetery, here Tropical Island, and here probably the Toxic Sewer, and that's probably what I'm gonna run. So that's gonna be like my Atlas strategy for this league, unless people discover that some other map has like great drops for some other reason, but those seem to be the good maps. So I'm basically gonna keep sextants on all of those maps and just keep running those maps and sell all the other maps, right? That's gonna be it. As far as the heist goes, I have a lot of heists stockpiled here. We have some, I think there's like a unique blueprint. I sold a bunch of blueprints for a bunch of money as well before. I think I had a unique blueprint somewhere, no? I think maybe I have it, no, maybe I sold it as well. Because they're not expensive enough that you cannot buy it later, and people are complaining so much about the heist right now because the patch that was released kind of ruined it, because people were like, oh no, it's too difficult, make it easier, and then they made it easier, but they also lowered the rewards. And now people are complaining because the rewards are easier, and especially the people who knew how to deal with it could get like very rewarding runs, but now the runs are less rewarding. So I don't know, I was mapping. I'm gonna do heist in a little bit. Actually probably today or tomorrow I'm gonna start doing some heist and leveling my guys. But I wanted to go over the Atlas strategy because I have a video about Atlas completion and getting the watchstones, so you can check that out on my channel. I will link it in the description as well so that you can easily find that video. So if you're still progressing toward Awakener 8, then definitely check that out. It should help you out do it quicker. This is gonna be pretty much my Atlas strategy. I wanted to figure it out on video so that you see the process. Hopefully this has been helpful. Thank you guys for watching and see you next time.